Welcome to the Silver Lining with your host, Randy Silver, where we break down the biggest sports stories for you daily. Today, by big fan demand, it's the NBA in-season tournament. I received a lot of questions like this, and here are the 10 biggest ones. What is the NBA in-season tournament? What's the schedule and key dates? What does the bracket look like? How are the teams split up? Why? Where is it being held? What's at stake? Why do the players care? Do they get money? Do they get a trophy? How does this affect the regular season? Is this like European competitions in football? And why would the NBA care about this? How does it affect their media rights? So we're going to dive into all these questions and more for you. I got a big slideshow of pictures and stories and facts to share. Please subscribe to my channel, Randy Silver TV, so you get updated when these drop daily. Let's dive into it. The NBA in-season tournament begins November 3rd. It's going to run for 1 month. Every team is involved. The key dates are group play begins November 3rd. Group play ends November 28th. Each team will play 4 games in that slot. If you advance into the knockout round, the quarterfinals are December 4th and 5th. December 7th is the semifinals. December 9th is the championship. And the semifinals championships will be held in the same spot, which we'll touch on a little bit, just like the NCAA Final Fours. What's at stake? The teams will be competing for that new All-NBA Cup. Just like in Europe, if you're playing a domestic competition, you get a trophy. This will be its own trophy. The NBA will name the most valuable player of the in-season tournament in the all-tournament team. Prize pool. A prize pool will be allocated to the players on the team that participate in the knockout round, so you'll get some extra money. Is it a lot of money? Is it not? Does it matter if you're making a $30 million contract? We'll dive all into it. So let's continue on. How are teams put into these brackets? They're based off of the previous 3 seasons regular season standings. So from last season, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, whatever your record was, you got put into pot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that way, when you play the other 4 teams in your bracket, you're playing the same level of competition based off a record. So let's use the Boston Celtics, for example. They had 3 high regular seasons. They were like top 2 or 3 in the league in terms of wins. They're going to be in pot 1 most likely. Let's use a team that hasn't been good as of late. Let's use the Charlotte Hornets. They haven't been making the playoffs lately. They have a losing record. Same with the Detroit Pistons. You could say San Antonio Spurs. They're probably going to be pot 5 because they're having the worst records before. A team will play 4 teams in their group. And then based off of that, the team with the best record, they will go on to the next round. If there's a tie in the group, then it goes to head-to-head. If that's still tied, then point differential, total points, and regular season. 1 team from each group will go out, and then 2 wildcard teams will go from each conference. So here you can see this is what the quarterfinals look like. You have 4 on each side, so 8 teams coming from the West, 8 teams coming from the East. And then you'll play in the semifinals, and then you'll play in the finals. In terms of regular season, this doesn't add any regular season games if you're playing just in the quarterfinals or the tournament. So if you don't make it into the quarterfinals, you'll have 2 games added at the end of the tournament, and you'll play those games. If you're in the quarterfinals, then that will be included. If you're in the semifinals, that will be included. But if you're in the championship game, it means you'll play 1 extra game. So the quarterfinals and semifinals games will still count towards your regular season record. The bracket games will count towards your regular season record. So if you don't make the quarterfinals or semifinals, they're going to use a coefficient to figure out who you'll play in those 2 games to try to make it fair based off of records. As we said, the NBA in-season tournament is going to be in Las Vegas. Why? You got the sports gambling. 2, we know that they want to put a team in Vegas, so this is a good opportunity for them to test it out. Playing T-Mobile Arena, check out everything. We know in the summer, the NBA does their NBA Summer League in Vegas, usually at UNLV. The FIBA team, the U.S. national team, practices in Vegas. Really has become a big hub for NBA basketball. So this is a very good practice for them as they look to either expand the NBA or a team moves to be able to settle in Las Vegas. Who wouldn't want to play in Vegas? Honestly, pretty cool. You have the City of Lights. There's so much entertainment things to do. As an athlete, you're getting paid fat, so you can afford to be there. And they have winners. WNBA team, Aces, just won the championship. NHL team, Las Vegas Golden Knights, just won their championship. Formula One's going there. NBA's been around. Oakland A's may become the Vegas A's. It's still in limbo, but it looks like they're going there. With the advent of sports gambling being legal now, Vegas is not taboo. It is a place to be for sports mecca. Prize pool breakdown. So here we go. How much money are people going to make? If you're a player on the championship team, you'll make $500,000. Second place team, $200,000. If you lose in the semis, $100,000. If you lose in the quarterfinals, it's $50,000. Pretty nice payday for the average American, average person around the world. But say you are LeBron James, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. You're making 30, 40, 50 million a year. Is it going to be that much incentive for you to want to play hard to get an extra 500,000? Probably not. But these younger teams that don't have these superstars, the up-and-coming teams, this is going to be massive incentive for them because, one, they're not playing for the NBA regular season, not going to win. This gives them a chance to win this tournament. Two, good payday. Or people on that team, say the Warriors, the Lakers, who just won the championship, obviously, who's the Nuggets. Those players maybe don't have as much incentive in the regular season because they know they'll make the playoffs. They're winning. This gives them something to get up in the morning and be excited to play, especially those players who maybe aren't making as much on those teams. If they can get in these games, this is a big payday for them. So a lot of questions that came in is also, is this just like the FA Cup? In terms of it being an inter-season competition, yes. But in terms of the way that is set up, it is not. The FA Cup is set up for any team in England to be able to compete in the same tournament. The NBA in-season tournament is not. So let's dive into that. Last year, Manchester City won the FA Cup. To be able to win, they had to win the competition that compiles the Premier League, which is the top league. It's the major league of soccer in England. So think of it the NBA, MLB, NFL. But then also in the FA Cup are the minor leagues. They're still professional. They're not considered minors, but it's Championship, League One, League Two, National League, which is where Wrexham was in. They got promoted up. So all the teams in England who are professional get to play. In the NBA in-season tournament, it's only NBA teams. So it's not the same. You're only playing 1 of 32 versus here, hundreds of teams could win in the FA Cup. And that's the same for any in-season competition throughout Europe. They are all throughout the different levels, depending on how far they go down. But it's not just the top tier. It's just not the EPL. That's just the regular season. So if the NBA wanted to mimic this, then the G League, which is the minor league of the NBA, each team has a G League, would be inside this tournament too. So they potentially could play their parent club. They obviously don't want that, most likely. But they would have to be a part of it. Or you could bring in potentially the Mexican Basketball League. Maybe you get the Spanish Basketball League, French Basketball League, and you make other leagues come in. Then it kind of gets more like that, but that's more like Champions League in Europe versus where you're not having domestic. So just like the regular season, there's no difference in the teams that you could face in the in-season tournament. What is one of the reasons why the NBA wants to do it? One, as we know, the dog days NBA season can get boring, monogamous. People take days off in terms of they need a rest day. They need a recouping day. So they want to find a way to get players still to play, get fans in the seats, get more attendance, especially on television. The NBA also has a new media deal coming up in the next year or two. Look how the deals changed. 1998 to 2002, their deals worth $2.64 billion. From 2002 to 2008, their deals worth $4.6 billion. So they doubled it. 08-09 to 15-16 were $7.4 billion. So once again, about double that. Nowadays, 2016 to 2024, deals worth $23 million. Basically 2x where they were at. So how do you continue to do that? As we know, people are cutting cords on television, so you're going to be able to command the same rights of, with linear television if people aren't going to be watching the games with advertisers. That's where they're fielding offers from Apple, Fox, Netflix. We see Amazon with the NFL. We see Apple Plus with the MLS. NBA is looking, how can I grow my media right deals? So one way is you have the regular season games. But secondly, now that you have the in-season tournament, it's another way to gain media rights, advertisers, sponsorships, and so much more to continue to grow the market. Reportedly, the rumors are the league is looking to get $5 billion to $8 billion per year, which would be about $45 to $75 billion a year, which means they're trying to 2x to 3x their contract. Stay on task. So now let's dive into the groups. As an NBA fan, this is your bread and butter. Who am I going to face? Who do I get to see? How am I going to win? So just a friendly reminder of how they're broken up. Here are the national televised games, so a sneak peek. You can see here a lot of the teams that you would expect are on here. A lot of good young players that you want to show talent or stars. Now here are the groups. Group A, Grizzlies, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, and Portland. And you can see the days that they play. The games are either played on Tuesdays or Fridays. Your Group B is Nuggets, Clippers, Hawks, Mavs, and Rockets. And here are the games, and you can see them. And then finally, Group C, Kings, Warriors, Wolves, Thunder, Spurs. So again, they were broken up between pots 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 based on the records. And so we got some tasty matchups here. That Bayer rivalry going to be on TNT with something on the line. If they both need to win to make it on the next round, that's going to be fun. Here's East Group A. Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Pacers, Pistons. Group B, Bucks, Knicks, Suns. I want to say that's the Wizards and the Hornets. And then you got Celtics, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, and the Magic. Yep, that was Wizards. Sorry. This logo looked weird there. So here are your teams, and so you can understand who you support and who you're going to play, and the schedule will be. So that is your NBA in-season tournament in a nutshell. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? Do you care? Do you not care? Are you going to go to games? Are you not going to go to games? Love to hear it. Comment your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to this channel, Rain Silver TV, where we put out the Silver Lining to give you sports stories like this daily to help you understand the world of sports. Thank you so much for watching. Randy out. Enjoy. And of course, remember, the FIBA World Cup is starting in a couple weeks, and we'll have all the highlights for you here. We've already been doing the preseason games, so stay in tune, basketball fans. We got you. Out.